Have you ever wondered what it truly takes to stand out in his mind, to linger in his thoughts long after he reads your morning text? Let me ask you something else. How often do you find yourself typing a good morning message, only to delete it because it feels too bland, too predictable, or too much like what every other woman might send? It's frustrating, isn't it? Here's the problem. Most women approach texting as a routine, a box to tick, rather than an opportunity to create connection and intrigue. But let me tell you, a single text can set the tone for his entire day if you know how to do it right. What if I told you there's a way to send texts that not only make him smile, but leave him eagerly waiting for your next message? Wouldn't you want to master that art? Today I'm sharing something extraordinary. 7 good morning texts no man can ignore. These aren't your average, hey, good morning messages. Oh no, these are crafted to spark curiosity, build emotional depth, and subtly showcase your confidence and high value. And here's the best part. They're rooted in principles that are timeless, powerful, and deeply transformative. Principles like Stoicism and dark Stoic psychology that elevate your communication from ordinary to irresistible. So, are you ready to discover how to make him think about you all day with just a few words? Stay with me. Each text is a game changer, and by the end of this, you'll have the tools to captivate his attention in ways he didn't even know were possible. Let's start with the first, and perhaps most exciting, text, the power of mystery. 1. The power of mystery. Picture this. He wakes up groggy, checks his phone and sees your text. It's short, playful, and brimming with intrigue. Good morning. You won't believe the dream I had about you last night. Instantly, his mind starts racing. What kind of dream was it? Romantic, funny, wild? Why won't she just tell me? He's hooked, and the day hasn't even begun. Why does this work? It taps into one of the most powerful psychological drivers, curiosity. Men are hardwired to seek answers, to solve puzzles. When you give him just enough to spark his interest but hold back the full story, you create an open loop in his mind. That loop will keep turning until he finds a way to close it by texting you back, eager to know more. But here's the key: subtlety. Mystery isn't about being vague or evasive. It's about crafting messages that leave breadcrumbs for his imagination to follow. Think of it as weaving a thread that ties him to you throughout the day. Every time he wonders about your dream, he's subconsciously reinforcing his interest in you. Now let's get real for a moment. Too many women fall into the trap of oversharing, thinking that spilling every detail will make them more relatable or endearing. But what happens when there's no room left for discovery? Exactly. He gets bored. Dark Stoic psychology teaches us the art of controlled communication. You share just enough to intrigue him, never too much to lose the upper hand. This balance isn't about manipulation. It's about creating a dynamic where he's as invested in the interaction as you are. Think about it. When was the last time you felt captivated by someone who revealed everything about themselves up front? Probably never. We're drawn to the unknown, the unexplored. That's what keeps relationships exciting, especially in the early stages. And let's not forget the element of confidence. When you send a text like this, you're signaling that you're comfortable being playful and unpredictable. You're not chasing his attention. You're inviting him into a moment of curiosity that centers around you. This is a hallmark of high-value women. Women who know their worth and don't feel the need to overcompensate. So, how can you master this? Practice restraint. The next time you're tempted to explain yourself fully, stop. Let him ask questions. Let him wonder. And when he does, keep the energy light and engaging. Build the connection without giving everything away. Here's another angle to consider: Stoicism. The ancient Stoics believed in maintaining control over their emotions and responses, focusing on what they could influence rather than what they couldn't. By embracing this mindset, you'll find that you don't need to overshare or over-explain to make a connection. You simply need to be intentional with your words, choosing those that spark intrigue and leave him wanting more. Imagine the ripple effect of this approach. One text leads to a conversation filled with energy, curiosity, and connection. He goes through his day, replaying your words, wondering about you, and looking forward to the next message. And that, my friend, is how you stand out, not just as a good texter, but as a woman he can't stop thinking about. Are you ready to create that kind of impact with your texts? Then start practicing the art of mystery today. Trust me, the results will speak for themselves. Second, building anticipation. Let me ask you this. How often do you send a message that's just a routine hello? Something like, "Good morning, have a nice day." It's polite, sure, but it doesn't stand out. Now imagine sending something that leaves him curious, excited, and looking forward to the rest of the day. A text like this. "Good morning. Something reminded me of you yesterday. I'll tell you later." Now stop and think for a moment. How would that text make him feel? His mind would light up with questions. What reminded her of me? Was it something sweet, funny, or flirty? Why isn't she telling me now? By the time he's put his phone down, he's already looking forward to hearing from you again. And that's exactly the point. This kind of text works because it creates anticipation, a powerful emotional driver. Anticipation is what makes us binge-watch shows, eagerly await special events, and yes, obsess over the next message from someone we're interested in. It's a subtle yet incredibly effective way to keep someone engaged and emotionally invested. But here's the secret sauce. You don't just leave him hanging. When you do follow up, make sure your reveal is worth it. Maybe it's a memory that made you smile, like, "I walked past that pizza place we talked about last week and thought of you." Or it could be something intriguing, like, "I overheard someone say something you totally agree with. It was hilarious." The reveal doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to feel personal and intentional. Now let's talk about why this works so well. Men, just like women, thrive on emotional engagement. When you create a little suspense, you're inviting him into a shared experience, one that revolves around you. It's the emotional equivalent of a treasure hunt, with the treasure being your attention. And trust me, that's a prize he'll work for. Here's where Stoicism plays a role. This approach isn't about playing games or being manipulative, it's about being intentional. Stoicism teaches us to value our words and actions, to understand their impact, and to use them wisely. By sending a text that builds anticipation, you're showing him that you don't just communicate, you connect. You're thoughtful, deliberate, and confident enough to create moments that leave an impression. And let's not forget the confidence this shows. When you send a text like this, you're demonstrating that you're comfortable being playful and in control. You're not chasing after him. You're inviting him to join you in an intriguing moment. That confidence is magnetic. It's what sets high-value women apart from the rest. But here's the thing. This isn't just about him, it's about you too. By crafting messages like this, you're taking charge of your communication. You're setting the tone, leading the interaction, and showing that you know your worth. That's the beauty of dark Stoic psychology. It's about creating dynamics that empower you while fostering genuine connection. So, what's stopping you? The next time you pick up your phone to send a good morning text, don't settle for the predictable. Build anticipation, create curiosity, leave him thinking about you all day. Not because you demanded his attention, but because you inspired it. Now, if you've been enjoying these insights so far, here's your chance to let me know. Hit that like button and comment number 1 if this idea of building anticipation resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe for more strategies that will completely transform the way you approach communication and relationships. This is just the beginning. We're only getting started. Are you ready for the next powerful text? Let's keep going. 3. Emotional connection. Let's pause for a moment and think about something profound. When was the last time someone truly saw you? Not just your smile or the words you spoke, but the hopes and dreams you carry within. It feels rare, doesn't it? Now imagine giving someone else that same gift, even with something as simple as a morning text. A text like this: "Good morning. I hope today brings you closer to your goals. What's something exciting you're working on this week?" At first glance, it might seem straightforward, but look closer. This text isn't just a greeting, it's an invitation. An invitation to open up, to share, to connect. And connection, my dear, is what transforms a fleeting exchange into something deeply meaningful. Here's why this text is so powerful. It shows him you care about what truly matters to him. Not his job title or what he did last weekend, but his ambitions, his dreams, his passions. Men, though they often keep their emotions guarded, crave this kind of recognition. It's not just flattering, it's disarming. It tells him that you see him for who he is and that you value his journey. But let's be clear. This isn't about overstepping boundaries or trying to pry into his life. It's about creating space for him to share, if he chooses to. And when he does, you've set the stage for a conversation that goes beyond the surface. You've laid the foundation for trust, understanding, and emotional intimacy. Now let's dive into the psychology behind this. At its core, this approach taps into a universal truth. People want to feel understood. By showing genuine interest in his goals and what excites him, you're giving him a rare gift, the chance to feel seen without judgment or agenda. This aligns beautifully with dark Stoic psychology, which emphasizes the importance of intentional communication that empowers both parties. But here's where the magic truly happens. When he shares his dreams or ambitions with you, it's not just about the words exchanged, it's about the bond you're creating. You're becoming someone he associates with hope, encouragement, and positivity. And that association? It's priceless. Think about it. How many conversations do we have in a day that genuinely inspire us? Most of our interactions are transactional, fleeting, and forgettable. But when someone asks about what lights us up inside, it sticks, it lingers, it leaves a mark. And you, with this one text, have the power to be that person for him. But let's take it a step further. What happens when he feels supported by you? He starts to associate you with progress, growth, and motivation. You're no longer just someone he texts back. You're someone who adds value to his life. That's the essence of a high-value woman. Now here's where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control and to approach life with wisdom and purpose. By crafting messages like this, you're embodying that principle. You're not just communicating, you're creating moments of impact. You're choosing your words carefully, with the intention of building something meaningful. And let's not forget the confidence this demonstrates. When you send a text like this, you're showing him that you're not afraid to dive deeper. You're not playing it safe with small talk. You're saying, "I see you, and I'm interested in what drives you." That's powerful. That's magnetic. But let's also acknowledge the vulnerability this requires. Reaching out in this way means stepping into the unknown. Will he respond? Will he share? You don't know, and that's okay. Because at the heart of this approach is authenticity. You're not asking about his goals to get a certain response. You're doing it because you genuinely care, and that authenticity, it's what makes you unforgettable. So, what happens next? Maybe he shares something small, like a work project he's excited about, or maybe he opens up about a big dream he's been working toward. Whatever it is, listen, engage. Let the conversation unfold naturally, and as it does, you'll find that you're not just texting, you're connecting. And here's the beauty of this. It's not just about him, it's about you too. When you approach communication with this level of thoughtfulness, you're elevating yourself. You're showing that you're a woman who values depth, who prioritizes connection, and who isn't afraid to lead with her heart. In a world where so many interactions are shallow and rushed, you're standing out by choosing to go deeper. And that choice, it's what makes you extraordinary. As you think about the next morning text you'll send, ask yourself this. What kind of impact do you want to leave? Do you want to blend in with the crowd, or do you want to stand out as someone who sees the world and him with clarity and intention? The answer, I think, is clear. 4. Playful humour. Let's switch things up for a moment. Imagine this scenario. He's groggy, scrolling through his notifications, and then he sees your text. It reads, "Good morning. I had the craziest dream that you were a superhero saving the world. What do you think your superpower was?" He stops, he chuckles, and just like that, his day takes a lighter, brighter turn, all because of you. That's the magic of playful humour. It's simple, it's light-hearted, but it's also powerful in ways you might not realise. Why is humour such a game-changer when it comes to texting? Because laughter isn't just about having fun, it's about connection. When you make someone laugh, you create an instant bond. You're not just another person in their inbox, you're someone who brings them joy, someone who makes the mundane feel special. Here's where it gets even better. Humour shows confidence. Think about it. It takes boldness to step away from the ordinary, to say something unexpected and playful. When you send a humorous text, you're telling him, "I'm comfortable being myself. I'm not afraid to have a little fun." And that, my dear, is incredibly attractive. But let's not stop there. Playful humour does more than make him laugh. It sets the tone for your dynamic. You're not just texting him, you're inviting him into a space where he can relax, let his guard down, and enjoy your company. You're saying, "Yeah, with me, life is a little more fun, a little more exciting." That's the kind of energy he'll crave, the kind of energy he'll keep coming back to. Now, you might be wondering, what if I'm not naturally funny? What if humour doesn't come easily to me? Here's the good news. Humour isn't about being a stand-up comedian. It's about being authentic, light, and a little bit unexpected. It's about finding those moments where you can share a smile, even if it's something as simple as a silly observation or a playful question. For example, instead of saying, "Good morning, have a great day," you might say, "Good morning. Quick question. If coffee could talk, what do you think it would say to you right now?" It's random, sure, but that's the point. It's disarming, and it sets you apart from everyone else who's sending the same generic messages. But let's take it a step further. Humour isn't just about the words you choose. It's about timing. Imagine sending a playful text after he's had a long day. It's not only unexpected, but it's also exactly what he didn't know he needed. That's where the real magic happens, when your humour becomes a source of comfort, not just entertainment. Here's where dark Stoic psychology comes into play. The idea here isn't to use humour as a mask or a tool to manipulate. It's about understanding the power of emotional balance. By injecting lightness into your interactions, you're creating contrast. You're showing that you can handle serious conversations, but you're also the person who can bring a smile to his face when life gets heavy. That balance is what makes you unforgettable. But let's not overlook an important piece of this puzzle. Humour also gives you something in return. When you make someone else laugh, it shifts your own energy. It reminds you not to take life or yourself too seriously. That's a hallmark of both high-value women and the principles of Stoicism. Finding joy in the small moments, staying grounded, and embracing life's lighter side without losing sight of what matters. Think about the ripple effect this creates. A single playful text can change the trajectory of his day, and yours. Suddenly, the conversation flows more easily. There's laughter, there's connection, and there's a shared moment that neither of you will forget. And isn't that what great communication is all about? But here's the real beauty of playful humour. It builds a foundation. It says, we can have fun together. And fun, my dear, is what keeps relationships alive. It's what turns routine exchanges into something worth looking forward to. It's what makes him not just respond to your texts, but genuinely want to hear from you. So the next time you're crafting a good morning message, ask yourself, how can I add a little lightness, a little spark, a little unexpected joy? How can I make him smile, not because I'm trying too hard, but because I'm letting my playful side shine? Because here's the truth. Men are drawn to women who know how to balance strength with humor, depth with lightness. And when you master that balance, you're not just someone he texts. You're someone he remembers, someone he thinks about long after the conversation ends. And that, my dear, is the power of playful humor. So are you ready to send a text that makes him laugh, think, and feel all at once? The answer is clear. Go for it. You've got this. 5. Nostalgia. Let's take a step into the past for a moment. Think about a memory that makes you smile. One that's tied to someone special. Maybe it was a shared laugh, a quiet moment, or even something spontaneous that caught you both off guard. Now imagine bringing that memory back to life in a way that rekindles all those feelings. That's exactly what you're doing with a text like this. Good morning. I was just thinking about that amazing dinner we had. What a great memory. It seems simple, doesn't it? But the truth is, nostalgia is one of the most powerful emotional tools we have. When you remind him of a cherished memory, you're not just recalling a moment, you're reigniting the emotions tied to it. And those emotions? They're what deepen connections and keep relationships alive. Here's why this works so well. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. When you bring up a positive shared memory, you're triggering those feel-good chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, and linking them to you. He's not just remembering the event, he's feeling it all over again. And who wouldn't want more of that? But it's not just about science, it's about meaning. Nostalgia isn't something you can fake. It's rooted in authenticity, in real moments that matter. When you bring up a memory, you're saying, this was special to me and I hope it was special to you too. That vulnerability, that willingness to reflect on something meaningful is what sets you apart as a high-value woman. Here's the magic of this approach. It bridges the gap between the past and present. By revisiting a shared experience, you're strengthening the emotional foundation of your connection. It's a reminder of why you enjoy each other's company and a subtle hint that there are more moments like that to come. Now, let's dive deeper into how to craft a nostalgic text that resonates. It's not just about the memory. It's about how you frame it. Instead of saying, "Remember when we went to that park?" you could say, "Good morning. I was just thinking about that sunny day at the park. We laughed so much. It was perfect." See the difference? The second version paints a picture, evokes emotion, and invites him to relive the moment with you. And here's the key: be specific. General memories don't pack the same emotional punch as details do. Mention the way the sunset looked, the song that was playing, or the silly joke you both couldn't stop laughing at. Those little touches make the memory feel vivid and personal. But don't stop there. Nostalgia isn't just about looking back. It's about looking forward too. After you bring up the memory, you can add something like, "We should do that again sometime," or "What do you say we make another memory like that soon?" This shifts the focus from the past to the future, creating a sense of possibility and excitement. Let's talk about why this matters. In today's fast-paced world, where most conversations are fleeting and surface level, taking the time to reflect on a meaningful memory sets you apart. It shows thoughtfulness, emotional intelligence, and a willingness to connect on a deeper level. It's the kind of communication that leaves a lasting impression. And let's not forget how this aligns with Stoicism. The Stoics believed in cherishing what truly matters and finding joy in the present moment while learning from the past. By weaving nostalgia into your messages, you're practicing this principle. You're valuing the moments you've shared while using them to enrich your current connection. Here's another layer to consider: dark Stoic psychology. When you bring up a memory, you're subtly reminding him of your unique role in his life. You're showing him that your connection isn't just about the present. It's built on a foundation of shared experiences that no one else can replicate. That exclusivity is powerful. It reinforces your value without you having to say a word. Think about it this way. How many people in his life take the time to remind him of the good times they've shared? Probably not many. And when you do, you're not just standing out. You're setting a standard. You're showing him that you're someone who notices, who cares, and who brings warmth and meaning into his life. But let's not overlook the confidence this requires. Reflecting on a memory and sharing it with him is an act of vulnerability. It's saying, "This mattered to me, and I hope it mattered to you." That kind of honesty is rare and incredibly magnetic. Now let me ask you something. How would it feel to send a text like this and see his response? To know that with just a few words, you've brightened his day and reminded him of why he values your connection. That's the power you hold, and it's a power worth using. If you're feeling inspired to try this, let me know. Like this video and comment number 1 if you're ready to use the power of nostalgia to create deeper connections. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights like these, because this is just the beginning of your journey to becoming unforgettable. Together, we'll uncover the secrets to building connections that last a lifetime. 6. Subtle compliments. Let's start with a simple truth. Everyone loves to feel noticed, but there's an art to giving compliments, especially when you're trying to captivate someone's attention. It's not about overloading them with praise or focusing on the obvious. It's about subtly shining a light on something deeper, something uniquely them. That's what makes a text like this so effective. Good morning. You know what I admire most about you? Your laugh? It lights up any room. At first glance, this might seem like just another compliment. But look closer. This isn't about his looks or something fleeting. It's about a trait that speaks to who he is. A small personal detail that shows you're paying attention. And that's where the real magic lies. Why does this work so well? Because subtle compliments go beyond the surface. They touch on qualities that people don't always hear about. Qualities that make them feel seen in a way that's both personal and meaningful. Think about it. When was the last time someone complimented you on something unique? Something other than the usual "you look great"? How did it make you feel? Exactly. It stuck with you. And that's what you're doing with this text, creating a moment that lingers in his mind long after he's read it. But here's the thing. Subtle compliments aren't just about what you say. They're about how you say it. Confidence is key. You're not showering him with praise in a bid for his approval. You're simply sharing an observation, a thought that felt worth expressing. And that's subtle confidence. It's magnetic. Now let's break this down even further. What makes a compliment truly stand out? Specificity. The more detailed and personal your compliment is, the more impactful it will be. Instead of saying "you're so smart," try something like, "The way you solve problems is so impressive. You always seem to find the smartest solution." See the difference? One is generic, the other feels tailored and genuine. Here's where dark Stoic psychology comes into play. This approach is all about understanding what resonates on a deeper level. When you give a subtle compliment, you're not just boosting his ego, you're making him feel valued for who he is. And that's not something people forget. But let's not stop there. Compliments like this do more than make him feel good in the moment. They create a ripple effect. When he feels appreciated and seen by you, he begins to associate those feelings with your presence. You're not just someone who texts him, you're someone who lifts him up, who notices the little things that make him special. And here's where this gets even more interesting. By complimenting something like his laugh, his determination, or his kindness, you're reinforcing positive behaviors. He'll naturally want to show more of those traits because they're tied to the positive emotions you've created. It's a beautiful cycle of encouragement and connection. Let's tie this back to Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to focus on what truly matters and defines strength in authenticity. When you give a thoughtful compliment, you're practicing Stoic principles. You're valuing what's real, what's meaningful, and what contributes to a deeper connection. It's not about flattery or manipulation. It's about intentionality. But let's address an important question. How do you know what to compliment? The answer is simple. Pay attention. Listen to what he talks about, observe how he acts, and notice the little things that make him unique. Maybe it's the way he supports his friends, or how he always knows the right thing to say. Maybe it's his passion for his work or the way he lights up when he talks about something he loves. These are the details that set him apart, and when you acknowledge them, you're showing that you see him for who he truly is. And let's not forget the role this plays in your dynamic. When you're the kind of person who notices and appreciates the details, you're setting yourself apart. You're showing that you're not just interested in superficial conversations. You're someone who values depth, who takes the time to connect on a meaningful level. That's the hallmark of a high-value woman. But here's the beauty of subtle compliments. They don't just strengthen your connection, they strengthen your confidence too. When you express your thoughts authentically, without fear of how they'll be received, you're stepping into your power. You're showing that you're secure in who you are and unafraid to make others feel good about themselves. And that kind of self-assuredness? It's irresistible. So, the next time you're crafting a good morning message, think about what makes him unique. What's a detail, a trait, or a habit that you genuinely admire? Focus on that. Make it specific, make it heartfelt, and then send it with confidence. Because here's the truth. When you give a compliment that comes from the heart, it doesn't just brighten his day, it strengthens the bond between you. It creates a moment of connection that lingers, a memory that stands out. And that, my dear, is how you turn a simple good morning text into something unforgettable. Motivation. Let's picture this. He wakes up, his alarm blaring, already feeling the weight of the day ahead. Then he checks his phone and sees your message. Good morning. Remember, the only thing standing between you and your goals today is action. Go make it happen. Suddenly his day doesn't seem so daunting. Instead, he's energized, inspired, and ready to take on the world. And why? Because you showed up as someone who believes in him. Motivational texts work because they tap into something deeply human. The desire to feel supported and encouraged. Life is stressful, whether it's his career, personal goals, or just the grind of daily responsibilities. He's facing challenges that can weigh him down. A text like this is more than just words. It's a reminder that you see his potential, that you're rooting for him, and that you believe in his ability to succeed. But here's where this gets truly transformative. Motivational messages don't just inspire him, they elevate you in his eyes. You're not just someone he chats with. You're someone who adds value to his life. You're showing that you care about his growth, his happiness, and his future. And that kind of care, it's rare and it's powerful. Now let's dive into why this works on a psychological level. Encouragement creates a sense of partnership, even in the smallest moments. It says, I'm on your team, I want to see you win. And that feeling of partnership, it's what builds trust and deepens emotional connection. When he sees you as someone who consistently uplifts him, he starts associating you with positivity and motivation. You're not just a part of his day, you're one of the best parts of it. But there's more to this than just lifting his spirits. Motivational texts also help him see himself through your eyes. Think about it. When someone believes in us, it's contagious. We start to believe in ourselves more. And that self-belief, it's a gift you're giving him every time you send a message like this. Here's where Stoicism comes into play. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses to challenges. When you encourage him to take action or remind him of his potential, you're aligning with these principles. You're gently guiding him to step into his power and face the day with strength and purpose. It's not about solving his problems for him. It's about showing him that he already has everything he needs to succeed. But let's address an important question. How do you craft a motivational message that feels genuine and not forced? The answer lies in authenticity. Your words should reflect what you truly admire about him. For example, If he's mentioned a big project at work, you could say, "Good morning. You're going to crush that presentation today, I have no doubt." Or if he shared a personal goal, you might write, "Good morning. Every step you take brings you closer to where you want to be. Keep going. You've got this." The key is to make it personal. Generic motivation might feel nice, but it won't resonate as deeply as something tailored to his life and experiences. Show him that you're paying attention and that you care about the things that matter to him. That's what makes your message stand out. Now let's talk about balance. While motivational texts are powerful, they work best when used in moderation. You don't want to overwhelm him with constant pep talks. Instead, think of them as a way to sprinkle positivity into his day. A little encouragement at just the right moment can go a long way. Here's where dark Stoic psychology comes into play. This principle isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding the balance between presence and restraint. By offering motivation sparingly, you ensure that your words carry weight. You're not just saying something for the sake of it. You're choosing your moments wisely, making each message impactful. And let's not forget what this does for you. When you send a motivational text, you're not just lifting him up. You're reinforcing your own sense of purpose and positivity. You're stepping into the role of someone who inspires and uplifts. And that's a powerful place to be. It's a reminder that you're not just here to connect, you're here to make a difference. So the next time you're crafting a good morning message, ask yourself, what can I say that will make his day just a little bit better? What encouragement can I offer that will remind him of his strength and potential? And then send it, knowing that your words carry the power to inspire and transform. Because here's the truth. When you take the time to motivate someone, you're not just building a connection. You're creating a foundation of trust, support, and mutual growth. And that foundation, it's the key to a relationship that's not just strong, but extraordinary. You've got this. Now go make his morning unforgettable. Final thoughts. So, there you have it. 7 good morning texts that no man can ignore. Each one is crafted to inspire curiosity, deepen connection, spark joy, and remind him of your unique energy. These aren't just words on a screen. They're tools for building relationships that are meaningful, magnetic, and unforgettable. What makes these texts so powerful? It's the intention behind them. They aren't about impressing him or seeking validation. They're about showing up as the high-value woman you are, confident, thoughtful, playful, and authentic. They reflect the best of who you are while inviting him into a deeper connection with you. But here's the truth. The magic isn't just in the texts, it's in you. The way you pay attention to the details, the way you balance mystery with vulnerability, the way you use your words to make someone feel seen and appreciated, that's what sets you apart. That's what makes your communication so impactful. Now, as you put these insights into action, remember this. Relationships aren't built on grand gestures or fleeting moments. They're built on consistent, meaningful interactions that show care, respect, and emotional depth. Every message you send is an opportunity to create something extraordinary, a connection that stands out in a world of shallow exchanges. So, which of these texts will you try first? Will you spark curiosity with mystery, build anticipation with a hint of excitement? Or maybe you'll start with a subtle compliment that shows him you truly see him. Whatever you choose, know that you're stepping into your power, using your words to leave a lasting impression. If you found value in these insights, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your favorite text idea or your own creative twists in the comments below. And if you're ready to take your relationships to the next level, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay connected. Together we'll continue exploring the art of meaningful connection and how to navigate relationships with confidence and grace. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Here's to creating bonds that last, messages that matter, and a life filled with connection and joy. Have an incredible day, and remember, You have the power to make it extraordinary. Let's make every moment count.